Hello, Samson here. So we've got another segment of book reviews where in today's book review, it's not an indoor type of setup. Instead, it's going to be done outdoors. That simply means I don't know how the sound quality is going to be, but yeah, let's try because it's Friday, so I wouldn't allow my Friday to go without a book review. So during the week, I was reading an interesting book by Brian Tracy. That is titled Million Dollar Habits. So, Million Dollar Habits, it's kind of a big book of which there are a lot of principles written down in the book, of which I only am going to share about four of the habits which I found appealing to me and which I feel I can share on this segment. But just to give a quick hint on what actually you can find in the book when reading Million Dollar Habits. That is, so there are habits that he's talking about you need in order to succeed, and then there are habits that are going to help you become a millionaire. Then there are habits that are there to help you get paid more and promoted faster. Then there are habits of top business people. Then there are habits of marketing and sales when it comes to your business. Then there are habits of personal effectiveness. Then you're also talking about habits of getting along well with other people, habits of character and leadership, and that marks like the end of the book. But my focus today is literally going to be on the four habits I think which can be a base for all of us. So the first habits are the habits you need in order to succeed. So what are these habits that you need in order to succeed? So Brian Tracy puts it this way by saying optimism is the first habit you need in order to succeed, simply because success is a constant realization of worthwhile ideals that you have within you. So the optimism that you have is what is going to help you get there. The second habit that's going to get you succeeding is a habit of excellence. So being excellent oriented is a habit that is going to help you get things done well. Aristotle, I think, is one who says that excellence is something that you do not just attain, it is a habit that you build. So if I paraphrase Aristotle like that, another habit that you need in order to succeed on a daily basis is a growth habit. And when you talk about growth, you're talking about every aspect of your life, and especially the intellectual part of you, that is by reading on a constant basis. Another habit that you need is an action habit. Instead of talking a lot, the best you can do is actually get into the habit of getting things done. So action is a habit that you need. And then the second set of habits that I want to discuss are the habits of people who become millionaires. So habits of people who become millionaires. Brian Tracy says, gives a couple of them. So the first one is think like a millionaire. And how do you necessarily think like a millionaire? And that is by thinking in terms of your financial independence on a constant basis. So when you begin to think in lines of financial freedom and financial independence all the time, then definitely you're going to get there. What Jim Rohn says, something interesting, is the fact that when you get money out of your way, when money is your problem, but when you get that problem, the money problem out of your way, then you can be able to do whatever you want with your life. Then second habit for people who become millionaires is frugality. So being frugal, simply being careful how you spend and utilize your money. The other habit is simply saving. So saving is a habit that you need to develop. If there are no seeds of greatness in a person who doesn't know how to save money, then getting good financial advice is another habit. So a lot of people do not necessarily succeed to finances because they don't have good financial advisors. And then the other habit is getting rich slowly. So getting rich isn't a one-time thing that just comes there and then you get rich slowly. That is by your investments and by the things that you do differently. Pursue happiness. So the pursuit of happiness, Aristotle says, the ultimate purpose or end of life is actually the pursuit of happiness. So people who become really rich are people who pursue their happiness. And then the third set of habits I'm going to discuss is the habits of top business people. So these are habits of top business people. So let's start maybe by defining what the purpose of business is. The purpose of business, Peter Drucker says, is simply to create and keep a customer, because customers are people who are going to make you rich at the end of the day. So the creation and the keeping of a customer is the whole purpose of business. We can argue the definition of what the purpose of a business is in terms of making profits and other things, but you cannot make profits if there are no customers. So what is it that is a problem you're solving, and what is it that are the solutions you're offering? So solutions come in terms of products and services. The value that you bring to the marketplace is what actually makes you rich as a business person. So business is basically focusing on the fact that that is where your money is going to come from. Focus on marketing and sales. That is another habit of top business people. Marketing and sales are what make up a business, because if you cannot market and you cannot make sales, you cannot get customers and you cannot make profits. Another thing is to think like an entrepreneur. And what is it that really has to do with thinking like an entrepreneur? So we've got several principles: is by planning thoroughly, by getting organized before you start out, that is by delegating your duties wisely, and then by measuring what you really want to get in effect, and then mastering your mastermind, associating with people who are really good in your field, and then keeping people informed about the results that maybe you want, being open to new information and being able to filter what is needed and what is not needed for you, and then thinking and taking action, as we talked about action earlier on. The other thing that we are discussing, those foundations of business success. So the foundations of business success are: one, productivity. There is productivity. So there is supposed to be an increase on equity all the time. And then customer satisfaction is what is needed for every business to grow. Then there is profitability. So we're always concentrating on what the net profit is going to be. Quality. What's the quality of your products you're offering on a constant basis is what determines what takes you, your business and your products being bought and all that. Employees. So best companies are built by best people. I think that settles the argument. Then organized development and innovation. So innovations, the world is ever changing. So without innovation, no business survives. The last set of habits I'm discussing are habits of getting along with others. Why? Because 85% of your happiness simply comes from the relationships that you have with other people. So family, your spouses, and everyone else, including your customers. The relationships that you have with people are what determine your success at the end of the day. So what are some of the things that you need to develop as habits? So the habit of making other people feel important, that settles it. So learning to accept who people are, learning to appreciate what people are, learning to admire what people are and what you can get from them, and then learning to approve. And the last one is learning to pay attention to people, and ultimately putting people first is what is actually going to help you get along with others. So this was $1 Million Habits by Brian Tracy. Till we meet in the next segment. Before checking out, actually, today is the 8th of July 2022, and I just graduated as an agronomist. So yeah, you can call me senior agronomist, going to work at SAFE. Checking out.